Hello everyone, today is 14th of February, now it's 10 past 9 in the morning Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my first update for a day in which I'll share all the main news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets and Russian language pages on different internet platforms. There are quite a few very significant developments and news that I'd like to share with you for this moment, and I will start with short summary of the situation on Ukrainian battlefield. According to reports from Russian media and Russian language pages, with the exception of few directions, there was no crucial changes on any of the sectors of the front line. And when it comes to exceptions, of course, I'm talking about, first of all, Donetsk sector of the front line, Avdeevka direction, Chisov Yar direction, and of course, settlement under the name of Selidovo. Yesterday, many media outlets, many Telegram channels, military channels, reported about Russian missile strikes on a training camp of Ukrainian armed forces in Selidovo. According to some reports, head of Ukraine's general staff, Alexander Syrsky, gave order to militaries not to share with the public any information about what happened into Selidovo on the training camp, on that military base, and because of this absence of information, rumors are, of course, absence of precise information, rumors are circulating about different scenarios. According to some rumors, Syrsky general staff redeployed in direction of Selidovo 3rd Ukrainian assault brigade, which is, by the way, neo-Nazi brigade, also known as Azov. And some channels are assuming that this brigade was main target for Russian armed forces. According to some other rumors, let's say about 1,500, from 1,500 to up to 3,000 mobilized reservists were undergoing training in that camp, and there were a huge number of casualties because during the strike, Russian armed forces used not just Iskander missiles but also cluster munition, and there were secondary explosions on the site for a long time. Different rumors, but at this point, hard to tell what exactly happened in this area. In any case, probably Ukrainian armed forces lost quite significant number of its military personnel, maybe reservists, mobilized reservists, maybe units of this 3rd Azov brigade, neo-Nazi brigade. In upcoming days, maybe we will learn something more, but for now, I did not found any details about this strike on the Russian segment of internet. When it comes to Avdeevka itself, also yesterday rumors began circulating that Russian armed forces managed to cut this main supply and support line of Ukrainian armed forces in city itself from northern industrial zone towards central and southern eastern parts of the city, where main grouping of forces of Ukrainian garrison is located. But later on, I did watch military summaries, update on the situation, and Dima, host of military summary, was quite skeptical that this supply and support line was cut. He did assume that Russian forces managed to advance on the southern flank of the Avdeevka, which is possibility of course. Without additional news, it's hard to tell. And also, by the way, Dima yesterday reported that Ukrainian armed forces began to evacuate or retreat from this area of former Ukrainian military base on the southern outskirts of Avdeevka, and maybe Ukrainian units are withdrawing from this Chiburashka area, also to avoid to avoid encirclement. We need some more information to know for sure what is going on. But in any case, Russian armed forces increasing pressure on Ukrainian units in Avdeevka direction. And if rumors about destruction of 3rd Assault Brigade that was supposed to be deployed in Avdeevka is correct, and that brigade suffered heavy losses during the Russian missile strike on training ground, then in that case, I wouldn't be surprised at all if in upcoming days, maybe even today, we will learn that Ukrainian defense lines in Avdeevka began to collapse, especially in the southern and central parts of the city. Northern industrial area, Ukrainian units may hold on to their positions for a little while, but eventually, of course, they will also will be forced to withdraw from this area. It's only a matter of time, and Avdeevka definitely will become under full Russian control. And when it comes to Bakhmut direction, surprising informations are circulating on internet, according to which Russian armed forces are conducting military operations in vicinity of Chisov Yar right now. And I'm saying surprising because, I did report it previously about reckoning force operations of Russian units in the vicinity of Chisov Yar, but usually when it comes to flanks of Bakhmut and direction of Chisov Yar, we are talking about settlements like Ivanovskaya, Bogdanovka, Grigorievka. This is main directions of Russian assaults, but somehow it seems like Russian forces managed to bypass Ukrainian strongholds around Chisov Yar and enter the city itself. And let's wait, maybe today we will see some video and photo confirmations that Russian forces are already inside the Chisov Yar and are conducting military operations in area of Canal, so-called Canal, by the way, in this district here. Interesting, but still we need some more information to know for sure what is going on. And I will end this short summary now because, they are military channels, a lot of them, and they can provide great detailed information, great volume of detailed information on this local scale skirmishes between the sides. I will just add that according to Russian Defense Ministry's report about progress of special military operation during the previous 24 hours, Ukrainian armed forces lost about two battalions of manpower and few dozens of military equipment. So losses on part of Kiev regime is extremely high, even in the conditions when Russian armed forces are not conducting large-scale offensive operations. If you remember, about months ago, daily casualties, month and a half ago, daily casualties on part of Ukrainian forces usually were about battalion, but last several weeks, because of this increase of pressure on Ukrainian units, casualty numbers increased significantly, and at this point we are talking about 2 battalions at least a day that Kiev regime is losing. Although, by the way, today Defense Ministry may report about strikes on Selidova area, also, and casualty numbers. In that case, casualty numbers in Russian Defense Ministry's report about progress of special military operation during the previous 24 hours may be colossal, in thousands. But let's wait and see what Russian Defense Ministry will report. And well, I will continue now with some additional news. RIA Novosti's report here that Russian air defense systems shut down 9 drones during the night time. 2 drones were shut down over the Belgorod region, 1 drone over the Voronezh region, and 6 drones over the Black Sea. Those drones most likely were heading towards Crimea, but Russian air defense system was ready to deal with these aerial threats. Also, RIA Novosti's report, I did mention this information in yesterday's headlines, and also I spoke about it in second update on my Patreon page. And Margarita Simonyan, head of RT and Россия сегодня, or Russia Today media group made a statement that, according to her sources, I already spoke about it, but I will repeat that. According to her sources, Syrskyi ordered militaries not to share with public any information about Russian strike on training ground of Ukrainian armed forces in Selidovo. Information basically is classified, and according to some reports, entire settlement is encircled with Ukraine's militaries and secret services, and some search is going on inside the town to find out who delivered to Russians precise coordinates or information that there was some big concentration of Ukrainian forces in that area. Maybe Russian side received intelligence. It is possible, but after all, one should never forget that Russian armed forces have quite a number of satellite grouping, and Russian armed forces can monitor situation in Ukraine and movement of Ukrainian forces in real life. And I believe Russian electronic warfare systems, electronic intelligence systems are main source of information. So maybe nobody send any information from Ukraine to Russian armed forces that there are huge concentration. Russian side could see it from satellites that big number of equipment is moving in that direction. Whenever you see big number of transport vehicles or military vehicles, it is obvious that something is going on there. Some concentration is happening of the manpower, and well, then it's only a matter of technique to conduct a strike. Anyway, let's continue with the news. RT's report that Ukraine's new top general reveals major change in strategy. Ukraine has transitioned from offensive operations to strategic defense. General Alexander Syrskyi has told the German TV channel ZDF in an interview published on Tuesday. The interview was recorded several days before President Vladimir Zelensky appointed Syrskyi as commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Ukraine. Okay, well, Ukrainian offensive did not achieve much, isn't it? Ukraine's strategy, or Kiev regime strategy, to conduct these offensive operations, and I don't think formal change of strategy from offensive operations to defense, I don't think this will help Kiev regime anymore, because on the line of contact, nothing gonna change much. Russian forces will increase pressure gradually, day after day, and eventually, when Ukrainian armed forces, Ukrainian defense lines will begin to crack and collapse, we most likely will see decisive actions from Russian militaries, large-scale offensive operations, maybe all along the front line, from Kherson region up to Kupiansk direction, which is Kharkov region, by the way. And I would not be surprised at all if during that decisive Russian offensive we will see we will see Russian offensive in Sumy, Chernigov regions, and maybe even in the direction of Kiev. But before that happens, of course, Russian side will take its time, will increase pressure on Ukrainian units, and once it will be obvious that Kiev regime's forces are no longer able to put up proper resistance, when Ukrainian defense lines will begin to collapse, that's the time when decisive operations began. Anyway, let's continue. RIA Novosti's report that Polish farmers are planning to shut down entirely border with Ukraine on 20th of February. So it seems like Polish government and Polish farmers did not find any common ground in negotiations. to de-escalate situation on the borderline. But same time, by the way, I think maybe officially Polish leadership is critical of actions of the farmers. But I guess behind the closed doors, farmers are somewhat encouraged by officials, Polish officials, because after all farmers are demanding is a Polish market to be secure from cheap agricultural goods from Ukraine. Otherwise, Polish farmers will be out of business in fairly short time. And same time, by the way, it's not just about Poland, because even Poland, if Poland will put up some additional barriers for Ukrainian goods to enter Polish market, well, those goods gonna enter EU markets and are entering EU market in general. And on that market, Polish farmers were playing, had quite significant margin, quite significant share, and they are losing it right now. They lost Russian market, and now seems like they are under threat to lose market share in EU also. And that's why they are so active, and that's why they are protesting on constant basis, because they really are under threat to just lose their businesses. But let's see, today is 14th of February, let's see if in a week's time Polish farmers will really shut down border with Ukraine. It is possible. RT's report here that, well, according to yet another potential high-ranking official of Brussels, EU needs to own nukes. This topic became quite active recently. Nuclearization of EU itself, European Union, this organization, which is even sounds crazy. But and by the way, Macron, president of France, recently made statement that France may consider to allow Brussels to, be in charge of French nuclear arsenal. Which is crazy. Macron was called the traitor for this type of statements. I cannot remember exact words that Macron says, but that's what was stated basically, that France is willing to not to give up over its nuclear weapons, but to allow Brussels to have some say in this regards. And let's go through the headlines now. US allies in Europe should not keep relying on Washington for nuclear deterrent. The German ruling party's top candidate for the upcoming European Parliament elections said on Tuesday. Katharina Barley, the leading MEP from the Chancellor Olaf Scholz's Social Democratic Party, was asked to comment on recent remarks by US presidential hopeful Donald Trump that Washington should not defend NATO allies who fail to meet their payment targets. In the new, in view of Donald Trump's recent statements, we can no longer rely on the US providing European NATO members with the nuclear umbrella, Barely told the German daily Tagesspiegel. A European bomb could become a step on the way to European army, she added. So, well, European army, nuclear armed European Union organization, by the way, European Union, not even country, formally at least, it's organization. And these individuals, officials in EU, on full seriousness are considering to create nuclear armed, to transfer EU into organization that is armed with nuclear weapons, organization that has its own army, which is crazy. totally crazy. Then let you declare that they are state. They are state, not organization, not union of some kind, but they are state with the capital in Brussels and with provinces, 27 provinces. And in that case, one may understand what they are talking about. But in this regard, if EU wants to have nukes and its own army, then why any other organization should not? Why any other organization should not have nukes and its own armies? It's crazy, man, crazy. But the level of degradation of this political culture and not just political culture, but individuals also that are positioned in elites in the West is unmatched, really. Unmatched. I mean, they are intellectual bankrupts, by the way. They probably don't even realizing what they are talking about. Because this proposal is as I just said, man, it's to give some organization nukes, which is crazy, man. And at the same time, these individuals are criticizing other countries that are seeking nuclear weapons. Iran, for example. Although Iran never said that they want to build nuclear weapons, but I assume they want to have one, just to stay in safe side. So they are criticizing countries that want nukes to protect themselves, but same time, they are willing to arm with nukes organization that means basically nothing for this world, man. It's not even country, man. What is EU? It's some quasi state. Anyway, man, let's continue. RT is reporting that U.S. Senate leader threatening Russia and China. This is kind of game that they are playing now, every other day, to threaten Russia, to threaten China, to threaten everybody that they don't like. So Putin and Xi Jinping will regret challenging America, according to Chuck Schumer. This is Chuck Schumer, isn't it? Yes, he is. So American senators from both parties coming out in support of aid for Ukraine and Israel is a powerful signal to Russia and China, as well as Washington's allies. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Tuesday the 100-member chamber approved the $95 billion national security funding bill with the 70 votes in favor and 29 opposed. 8 Republican senators spent most of the night filibustering against the proposal. Today we make Vladimir Putin regret the day he questioned America's resolve, and we make clear to others like China's President Xi Jinping not to test our determination, Schumer said in a speech after the vote. And we send a clear bipartisan message of resolve to our allies in NATO. Okay, man, if you say so. Schumer also praised the passage of the bill as greatly impacting the security of the Western democracy. Unbelievable, man. And this bill, by the way, which has to go voting process into House of Representatives in US, and it seems like, at least for now, Republicans in House and Democrats are not really on the same page. They will be sometime in the future, but not right now. But whatever the case, this bill would give Ukraine 61 billion of US taxpayers' money, formally to Ukraine, but in reality, of course, majority of these funds eventually will end up in pockets of these corrupt US officials and US military-industrial complex. Same time, 14 billion will be transferred to Israel for its war against Hamas, and almost 5 billion for arming Taiwan. So, well, how are you gonna comment this, man? Chuck Schumer cannot be as someone serious anywhere in this world, I find it difficult to believe that US citizens are seeing this person as a serious individual. He's just a clown that tries to threaten nuclear superpowers. Okay, continue to do this clownish stuff, Chuck Schumer. What an idiot, man. What an idiot. RT's report that blast rocks Iran's key gas pipeline. Large blast has erupted in a gas pipeline in central Iran. The Mehr news agency reported, citing local officials. Evaluation teams have been dispatched to the area to survey the damage. The explosion erupted in the early hours of Wednesday morning near the city of Borujen, some 64 kilometers or 39 miles away, or miles south of the provincial capital of Shahr Accord, according to Mehr news agency, which cited the local city administration and their fire officials. Well, something big. I guess this was one of the major pipelines, gas pipelines, because explosion, clearly we can see on this picture, explosion was huge, and local experts are saying now that this fire will probably continue to burn until there is any gas left in the pipeline. Maybe this was a terrorist attack, maybe sabotage or something like that, or maybe accident, who knows. But I doubt that it was an accident, really. Most likely it was some kind of attack on this pipeline. RT's report the German economy has probably stalled, according to Bloomberg's survey. German economy has probably failed to grow again in the start of 2024 after contracting in the final quarter of last year. Bloomberg reported on Monday. Analysts surveyed by the outlet said they now expect GDP to stall in the first 3 months of the year. A third of the respondents are reportedly even more pessimistic and are projecting contraction of economy. Okay, Germany is constantly in the news and usually not for good reasons. It's either crazy statements of German government and steps towards escalation with Russia, either negative news about Germany's economy. I mean, I cannot even remember when last time I saw Germany in the news with some positive headline that something good happened. I mean, I really can't remember when that was last time. And I guess many citizens of Germany can say the same. It's a quite depressive country, I guess. Quite depressive situation in Germany at this point, I guess. Which is, of course, unfortunate for citizens of Germany, but yet again, I mean, maybe they will take action and somehow make some influence political leadership that they have, and things may change then in a better way. And when it comes to economy of Germany, I don't think anybody has any doubts that in next 5 to 10 years, 15 years, Germany will be fully deindustrialized. Germany's economy will lose, I don't know, 5 to 10% of its GDP. Unemployment rate will skyrocket, and social fabric will undergo severe changes. This is inevitable because of these strategic errors that German government made during the previous years. It just seems inevitable. RIA Novosti's report. Well, US continues to threaten Turkish private banks for operating with Russian, for continue to work with Russian clients. I report about pressure from US on Turkish banking system about a week ago, maybe a little more, and we have additional information now. RIA Novosti spoke to its sources in the banking system in Turkey, and they confirmed that pressure only increases, and therefore some banks may be eventually be forced to stop working with the Russian clients, although some other ways will be fine, some alternatives will be fine for businesses between the two countries to continue cooperation. But this information clearly highlights once again that it's immensely important to create some alternatives of some global alternatives, let's say, of Western banking and financial system. Otherwise, this type of stories continue for a while, and I believe BRICS countries are working on these alternatives. And by the way, Russia already has, for example, alternative for the SWIFT, and SWIFT is, of course, a system of transaction of information between the banks, between the financial institutions. Almost all transactions are going on into the SWIFT or through SWIFT system. And because Russia is cut off from that system, we have now alternative here, and 20 countries already are operating within this Russian system, and I guess Turkey will join soon, because Turkish economy is significantly dependent on good working relationships with Russia, with Russian business, and I don't think Ankara can afford to lose Russian market or to lose Russian partners. And therefore, most likely in next several months, max, Ankara will make decision to join Russian alternative of the SWIFT, and Turkish banks will do the same, of course. RT's report that IMF issues warning about confiscating frozen Russian assets. It's quite interesting and funny, isn't it, that even Western tools like IMF is forced basically to at least to maintain some sort of reputation on the world stage, forced to criticize West and give this warning not to even think about confiscating frozen Russian assets. And IMF is recommending EU officials, US officials to once again think about legality of this type of action. Let me read at least first sentence here. Any steps towards seizing Russian frozen reserves should be backed by sufficient legal support. IMF's first deputy manager director, Gita Jopinath, has warned in an interview with the Foreign Policy magazine published on Monday. So yes, I mean, this is big issue, and despite these warnings, I think Western ruling class will still go ahead with the stealing of these frozen Russian assets. I think here in Russia, probably nobody expects to ever return those assets, and therefore for Moscow it does not make any change, really. But for Western world, stealing of Russian assets will be extremely damaging. It's just obvious. Even talk about possibility that they're gonna steal Russian assets under whatever pretext already is extremely damaging, and we clearly can observe outflow of investments from Europe, for example, from major European economies, and a significant decrease in foreign investments. And why is that? Exactly because of these crazy actions of the Western ruling class, because everybody worldwide now knows that if their country, one day or another, will get engaged in some diplomatic, political row with the EU or US, well, their investments in jurisdictions of Brussels and Washington may be, or collective West, let's say this way, will be stolen. And therefore, I mean, you have to be crazy to invest in Europe, by the way. If you are, I don't know, citizen of Russia, a citizen of China, citizen of India, or any of the Middle Eastern countries, or Brazil, or South Africa, you have to be crazy to invest in Europe or in US. Because your assets, you have no guarantees that your assets would not be stolen. So, I mean, why are you going to invest? You will find some other ways to invest in some other countries. And the world is much bigger than collective West, isn't it? But anyway, let's continue. And, well, this is also interesting. RIA Novosti is reporting that Russia stopped paying its annual payment in Arctic Council, and this is not yet official or unofficial statement that Russia is considering to withdraw from Arctic Council. Foreign Minister of Russian Federation clarified that Moscow not yet withdrawing from Arctic Council, but this step not to pay no more for this annual fee to be member of this council definitely can be seen as a signal or message that Moscow is considering withdrawing from this organization, and will withdraw most likely, because look at the members of Arctic Council. They all are Russian enemies, man. All of them. And what is the point for Russia to stay in this organization? You know, and Russian enemies, according to policies of their own governments, or governments of these northern states, that are basically all of them part of NATO or anti-Russian coalition. Well, Sweden may not be part of NATO yet, but will become soon, isn't it? But governments of this Arctic, governments of members of Arctic Council clearly highlighted that they are positioning their countries as enemies of Russia. And why would Russia spend money and time to be part of this council that will never ever be objective? It's just technically impossible, because they all are enemies. It is what it is, man. I will end this update now. And how long is this video? 38 minutes. Well, quite short update. And well, hopefully you will find this video informative, interesting, useful. And if so, please click that like button, leave some commentary just about anything. More likes and comments will definitely help to reach wider audience and further develop this project. And for very same reason, if you can, please share links to my videos or my channel with your friends on any of the platforms that you are active. And if you think this this media project of mine is interesting, has some potential, and deserves to exist in this field of news and political commentary, please consider to support my work with small donations through PayPal, buy me a coffee, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. You can see links under this video in the description box or in the pinned comment. This is it for now. Have a great day and take care.